Please copy down the standard Ventrac indicator on a clean page in your math notebook. Read, write, and compare and order numbers to the billions. You can pause the video here to give yourself more time to copy down the SBI. Place value through the billions. Use the place value chart to read and write numbers. This place value chart shows a 12-digit number. The number has 4 periods. In standard form, which is regular number form, each period except the ones is followed by a comma. So if you look up at our number above, we have a comma between the billions, the millions, and the thousands. In word form, each period except the ones is followed by the period name. So this number in word form is 286 billion, and then there's a comma just like in standard form, 379 million, comma, 540,000. The period names have been underlined. Use the place value chart to help you write each number in standard form or word form. So number 1, we have 34 billion. So it's in word form, we need to put it in standard form, so regular number form. So we're going to have a 34 and then a comma. And then to get it up to billions, we need to put 9 zeros after it. For number 2, we have 600 billion, 70 million. So we're going to start out by writing 600 and then a comma. Then, since we need 70 million, we need to put a 070 for the millions period. And then to make sure all that's up in the right spot, we need to add 6 zeros to fill in the thousands and the 1 periods. For number 3, we have 8,080,800,000. Again, it's in word form, so we want to put it in standard form. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put an 8 and then a comma. Then we need 080 to represent the 80 million. Then we need 800 for the 800,000. And then to make sure everything's up in the right place, we need 3 more zeros to hold our place. For number 4, we have it in standard form and it wants us to put it in word form. So they've partially filled it in for us. So if we start, we have 4 billion. $30 million. $400,000. And then in the last blank, 50. When you're writing out word form for a whole number like this, there's no and in it anywhere, because when we do word form for numbers, and represents a decimal. So since these are all whole numbers and not decimals, there's not going to be an and in any of the word forms. For number 5, we have 15 billion. $700 million. $5,009. For number 6, we have 301 billion. $417 million. $900,000. $770. Finally, the last thing I need to show you that's not actually on the worksheet is what's called expanded form. So we're going to use problem 6 to show expanded form. And this is when you write the number out as an addition problem, separating all the pieces out. So we're going to start by separating out 300 billion. Plus 1 billion. Plus 400 million. Plus 10 million. Plus 7 million. Plus 900,000. Plus 700 plus 70. Okay, an expanded form is just separating it out into this big addition problem. We've taken all the pieces of the number and separated them out, which is why it's called expanded form. When you have a 0, like the 0 between the 3 and the 1, or the zeros after the 9, or the 0 at the end of the number, you don't need to include that in your expanded form. But when you take expanded form back to standard form, you need to be very careful to make sure all of the numbers end up in the right spot. Please make sure you have everything copied down, because I will be checking in class tomorrow, and this paper needs to be glued in your math notebook.